Yo, what is up, my Shadow Armies? It is I, Shadow Critias, back again with another anime discussion video. So, yesterday, for those people on my community tab that I haven't done any interesting discussion of Wish Core video, and I did this like 2 years ago, when I did 4 characters from the Devilman franchise. 3 of them from the Devilman Crybaby, Akira Fudo, Ryu Asuka, and Miki Makamura from the Devilman Crybaby, and Amon from the Amon the Dark Side of Devilman, the OVA. So I did those, then I stopped doing it because I didn't have any topic or any characters I could think of or anything, because I wasn't fully in depth to the characters of emotion, so to speak. So I decided, you know what, why the fuck not? So I decided to bring this one back and see how this goes. And I mentioned in my community I have 13 videos, but now, 13 videos for this type of series, just for fun. But I have 14 now. One of them is basically my image AOC, Cage Tatsuma, which that's something I want to do. And about 2:30 in the morning yesterday, I posed a community tab that asked you guys to vote one of the 4 characters that y'all want to see in a video for Witch Core video. These 4 were Ichigo, Urza, Trunks, Future Trunks, and Esdeath. And before I head to bed, I was about to check the vote, because I was wondering how long do they have time to vote. And I saw it was an hour past, because I give you guys an hour to vote. Not a lot of people voted. Only 8 people voted. So, yeah, 8% of people voted. 0% for Trunks, Urza, and Esdeath. Surprisingly, Esdeath did get no votes. So yeah, Ichigo Kurosaki won the vote. Hardly won the vote. 100% out of 8 votes. So, this is Ichigo Kurosaki, which Core that would be perfect fitting for the Core. So keep this in mind, these Core are basically human emotion, and you have to be strong emotion to them to be accepted to be part of Core. The main 7 are, well, will, hope, rage, fear, love, compassion, and avarice, also known as greed. That's what I'm going to call it. And of course you have the 2 other Core that I'm going to add in, life and death, the white and black Core. So those are the main ones, the main 9 Core, not the newer ones, because I don't nothing about, so I'm not going to mention them at all, unless I need to. Depends on if I need to do my research here and there. So this is just my opinion, and I made a list of which Core that Ichigo Kurosaki would be in from 9th to 1. So basically you guys know which one is not the perfect fitting towards the most fitting for Ichigo. So yeah, so this is gonna be fun, so let's go ahead and dive right into it.
This power is mine. This is my light. Be it in bright of day or black of night, I lay claim to all that falls within my sight. To take what I want, that is my right.
To start off the main one, we're going to start with the avarice right off the bat. Okay, the reason why the greed, aka the orange Core, will be the lowest, because Ichigo doesn't have that motion of greed. Sure, there's a time he wants to get strong, wants to get powerful, but he doesn't let that consume him. And during the Fullbringer arc, he did want his powers back, because he was desperate. But that desperate leads it to hope, because he had hope that Genja would help Ichigo to get his powers back, so he could fight alongside with his friends, instead of just be an only human. Which I will get into Hope later in the future on the list. But then it gets taken away. And that Wanted and Hope to have his power back been taken away, leave him to grief and sorrow. So greed wouldn't work with Ichigo. I mean, it would work for the Fullbringer, but he doesn't let money and fame consume him. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about money and fame. He doesn't care about the glory. Because as you stated in the Can't Free Your Own World in the novelization, where Takanade, Yoriichi, and Byakuya had their meeting about they should bring the whole entire royal family, all the 5 noble house, to be back together. He wants Ichigo to take the role of the Ichibei family, since he is the bloodline of the Ichibei, since he has 2 cousins, oldest cousins. But Ichigo refused because he's not interested of that thing. He's not interested of a reward or anything. So, yeah, the average, the lowest, weakest of all will be, well, yeah, the Orange Lantern would be the lowest out of all.
The blackest night falls from the skies. The darkness grows as all light dies. We crave your hearts and your demise. Be my black hand, the dead shall rise.
Okay, some of y'all may be wondering, why death? Well, do I need to bring a summary of when Ichigo did die, then he came back to life as a Vasalore? Well, that does kind of like counts that for being dead and then brought back. The Black Lantern Corps is basically about, well, death and for those who come back to as a monster, and the death claims of the dead. And yeah, when Ichigo became Vasalore and brought back from the dead, yeah, the Vasalore makes sense, fitting for the Vasalore Ichigo. But until we don't see that until the 4th movie of Bleach, the Hellverse, my personal favorite. That's the only time we get to see it. He's basically death itself, and Ichigo doesn't like killing. He doesn't like killing, so it wouldn't work for him. When he was Vasalore, he was this close to killing Ukiura. It was for Uryu to interfere, but instead Uryu gets the killing blow, get the staff, not the staff, the stabbing or whatever. So yeah, the Vasalore would make sense. So I should go ahead and move on to the next one, which would be the similar summary for the Vasalore.
With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate!
Rage. Okay, the only time we see Ichigo gets pissed when he came across the Hollow who was responsible for the death of his mother, or that what he believes in, until the 1,000-year Blood War. Then he finds out that it was Yhwach who killed his mother. So the Red Lantern Corps is just more than revenge. Sure, we saw how Ichigo wants revenge on the Hollow who killed his mother, but in the 1,000-year Blood War, he didn't have that grudge of vengeance against Yhwach. He just wants to end him, but he kept his anger in check. And he does get pissed when Ukiura reveals that, yeah, I was the one who brought Orihime in the Hueco Mundo. That did piss off Ichigo. And when he became Vasalore, that motherfucker gets pissed. Real fucking angry. So, yeah, rage will be the lowest. It will be the lowest right next to that. It's a tie. For the Vasalore, it would be both rage and death. But with Ichigo, which will be rage a bit, one revenge for the Hollow who killed his mother, quote unquote, killed. After that, Ichigo doesn't have that grudge or heart of vengeance or rage or hatred. So, yeah, rage will be the lowest.
In blackest day, in brightest night, beware your fears made into light. Let those who try to stop what's right burn like my power, Sinestro's might.
Okay, fear. Why do I have this above rage and death? Well, let's bring this roughly. I might mention this before the next one. Fear is something that Ichigo doesn't have. I mean, there's a lot of people do fear for Ichigo's power, but Ichigo doesn't know he strike fear to anybody. Hell, I mean, some people don't see Ichigo as fearless at all. And this brings up to his Hollow, aka White, who is basically White Ichigo in a nutshell. And when White take over, he brings fear. Hell, he made the group of Vizar feared, where Ichigo lose control of his Hollow power. It strikes fear to them. Hell, even feared Byakuya. Some of that Byakuya is so, collective and doesn't show any fear. But in the battle against Ichigo, he felt fear. So, yeah. But Ichigo doesn't let that fear consume him when he fully controls his Hollow power. So, until his death, that White fully took over, became Vassalored. So, I mentioned that for rage and death, so I'm not going to bring that up. Yeah, so Ichigo does overcome his fear, but he's still fear for losses. But when it comes to fear, you had to show fear to your enemies, to everyone actually. But Ichigo doesn't have that. His White will strike fear to everybody. Ichigo doesn't. So that's why fear is the highest above than rage, which will be the tie between the next one.
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
So yeah, willpower. Okay, like I said for the fear, there will be a conflict between will and fear when Ichigo's willpower and White's fear. Because Ichigo does have willpower, but not strong enough to the other Manticore that I have. Ichigo does have will, because he fights his inner Hollow, not let it consume him, and not let it be controlled. Hell, he has strong willpower to risk his life to protect his two sisters attacked by a Hollow from the very first episode of Bleach. Because he was willing to give his life to save his sister. Both of them. Because he does not want to go through the same mistake. Doesn't want to go through the same trauma of the loss of his mother. He overcome his great fear. So the Green Lantern would see that. But his strong connection with the Green Lantern will not be strong enough to compare to the next one and the last three, in my opinion. So, yeah.
In fearful day, in raging night, with strong hearts full our souls ignite. When all seems lost in the war of light, look to the stars, for hope burns bright.
Hope. Now, Ichigo does have the potential to be a part of the Hope Lantern. But the thing is, Ichigo keeps giving up himself a lot. He always gives up on himself, but he doesn't give up on anything or anyone, but only himself. Like, For example, when someone's help, whatever happens to his friends, he won't give up on them until he saves it. Like, his motivation is to keep going to save Rukia. That's his hope. So, having hope is to not give up. For him not giving up to save Rukia, it keeps him going. Same goes for Orihime. And remember I mentioned about the greed is lowest? Ichigo will not stop giving up until he gets his powers back. So that hope will drive him to get his powers back until it gets taken away. And felt helpless. Until he finally got his powers back by Rukia, the same person who gave his Shinigami powers from the beginning. So, Ichigo always gives up on himself, but not anyone or anything. The only thing that hurts him the most is giving up his power, which is something he does not want to do, but it's the only way to defeat Aizen by using the final Gesuga Tensho, because it was the only way. So, after he gave up all of his power to defeat Aizen, he lost his power. He wants to be grateful, but he doesn't. He felt empty. Not only he lost his power as a Shinigami, he lost the ability to see ghosts, supernatural. So he lost that. And that's something he doesn't like. So he does not want to give up his power. He wants to be back to be a normal boy, back to be a normal kid, but he is so addicted to what he is now. So, yeah. And he does have the potential to be a part of the Blue Lantern Corps if he didn't give up on himself. That's the main issue. The only way to be part of the Blue Lantern is to not give up these certain things. Don't give up on anything or anyone, including yourself. So Ichigo does have potential to be part of the Blue Lantern Corps.
Torlorek-san bor nakamor, la tromo fan tornek wot or, der lantern ke lo abensor, tan lek nok for moro sor.
Now, let me explain about the compassion why it's in the top 3. Keep this in mind. There's two ways to be part of the Purple Lantern Corps. Is to have no compassion or have a pure heart of compassion. Here's the thing. Ichigo does have a compassion. He doesn't want to show it. He's afraid to open up compassion because look what happened to his mother. He has such caring and loving for his mother. When it comes to compassion, you need to be caring and understanding. And Ichigo is a prime example of caring and understanding. Because after the loss of his mother, he's decided to close up from everyone. Push everyone away because he doesn't want to get close to the people that Carrie loves, including his family. And he does care for everyone. He cares about his hometown. He cares about his friends. He cares about his family. Hell, he even cared about his father. Even though he's annoying, he still cares. And he doesn't want to be too compassionate because, again, look what happened to him when he was a kid. He got too compassionate for his love for his mother. And look what happened. And the reason why he doesn't be too compassionate because he doesn't want his friends to be involved in the situation because he's dealing the weight of the burden on his shoulder that is his responsibility to be the only person to save his hometown until the final act of the Thousand Blood War, final Blood War arc where he finally lets people in and let Orihime to fight alongside with Ichigo against the Yhwach and the Thousand Blood War arc. So Ichigo does have a pure heart of compassion, but he doesn't want to show it until later on in the Thousand Blood War. In the ending, he does show compassion. He does have a pure heart. I don't understand why people saying that being part of compassion, you got to be a completely psychopath and have no compassion. That is right, but there's two ways. The only way you can be summoned and be chose to be part of the Purple Lanticore, no compassion, or born of a pure heart of compassion. So Ichigo is another perfect, does have a potential to be the Purple Lanticore, but not strong enough to compare than the next two.
For hearts long lost and full of fright, for those alone in blackest night, accept our ring and join our fight. Love conquers all with violet light.
Love. Okay, I said it before in the compassion. Ichigo does care and love everyone that he loves. His friends, his family, his hometown, and he's willing to protect it. That's basically what love is, to protect the people that you care and love, and that's Ichigo's motivation and that's his goal. His most love of all was his mother that he wants to protect and be there for her, but the death of his mother traumatized him and broke his heart, which leads him to outcast and despair and loneliness. And he felt responsible for the death of his mother. So he blamed himself for his mother's death until he learns that it was a hollow who murdered his mother, until later on he learns that it was Yuhaba, like I mentioned before. So that did piss Ichigo off, but it still heartbreaks him that he still felt responsible, but now he finally let his mother be at rest. He still cares for his mother deeply. That's love. He cares for his sisters, and he's scared to lose that love for his family and his friends. And then later on in the We Do Not Always Love You, in the ending of the light novel, Ichigo finally had the courage to ask Orihime out and finally embrace his feelings that he's in love with her. In the manga, because it was rushed, Ichigo and Orihime got married because they both love each other. So, yeah. So Ichigo does have has strong emotion to love because of the people that he's surrounded. So yeah.
In darkest day, in silent night, with souls full of light, crush those who bring blackest night. Be our hand, white lantern's light.
Last but not least, life. The reason why life is above out of all of them, because Ichigo cares for life. He cares, well, the world. He cares about the living beings, even deities. And he sees the life meant to be protective. He's a protector of the Kurakura town. He's a hero of the Soul Society. He's basically the savior of the Wake Mundo because he saved countless lives as he can be until the siege of the Quincy's attacked the Soul Society, where Ichigo had to witness and hear all the cries of the Shinigami dying left and right. He felt powerless that he could not save them, but he's still willing to save life as he can. And he has that strong connection. Hell, not only that, he showed connection of the people who are past, because he showed a respect to the people who died, showing respect and kindness to the people who passed. Like, for example, the first episode of Bleach in the manga, where those three guys being disrespectful to the flowers that the parents left there for the child that Ichigo stood up for. Ichigo sees both living and dead precious, seeing them, they're still alive around us, even in death. So keep this in mind. The White Lanticore is the most powerful ring out of all the lanterns. Plus, the ring of the White Lantern will have all the powers of the emotion, minus death. So, Ichigo is a perfect candidate for the White Lanticore of life. Because, again, he's a protector, he's a hero, he's a savior. He sees life that needs to be saved and protected at all costs. Because Ichigo is the most powerful Shinigami that the Soul Reaper and the world of the living have. So, I forgot to mention this in the hope that Ichigo is the symbol of hope for the Soul Society and everyone else because he's the hero. He's the savior. He's the protector. So Ichigo is the perfect candidate for the Life Lanta Core. In a nutshell. So yeah. So basically, the number one, the perfect fitting for Ichigo Kurosaki is Life, the White Lanta Core. So there you have it. Those are where I put Ichigo into White Lanta Core. Greed, death, rage, fear, will, hope, compassion, love, and life. Life is the perfect candidate for Ichigo Kurosaki. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Tell what you guys think. Where do you guys think that Ichigo should be part of the Lanta Core out of these 5 choices? Life, love, compassion, hope, or will. And if you guys want to see more like this, you know, showing my face more often or behind the camera, just only the fucking pictures or whatever, because I want to start going back to showing my face more often a bit, and I want to try something new with the showing my face and showing the video of the oath of the Lanta Core, basically. But this is just my opinion. This is the point of the discussion of this Lanta Core. And also, if you guys want to see more like this, let me know. I might do more. Pretty much I will. Depends on the mood. The next one that I might do, I'm somewhere between Esdeath or Anos Votigode from the Misfit of the Demon King Academy. I might do one of them, but the one thing I want to go ahead and get out of the way will be Esdeath, so she will be the next one. So be on the lookout for that one. And so yeah, I have a lot of more interesting anime Lanta Core videos for each anime characters who should be in Lanta Core. Some of them will be really complicated and really hard to think on. So it's a good thing I started with the Ichigo Kurosaki because to be honest, Ichigo Kurosaki was going to be the first one I'm going to do, honestly. But I was curious on for you guys to vote for who you guys want to see first in y'all guys' opinion, and a lot of y'all chose Ichigo, which is caught me off guard, and kind of disappointed that Esdeath didn't get much of a vote because we all know everyone loved Esdeath. I mean, I got a fucking scroll poster right there, right behind me, and I'm genuinely shocked. I'm dead ass. But anyway, this is just my opinion, and this is just a discussion video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my other channels, my social media will be down below. Description box. You gonna know the drill. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Kneel before shout out Critias. I'll see you guys later.